This one move is responsible for most chess players not being rated over 2200. Okay, that might be a bit of an exaggeration, but this one move is killing plenty of chess raiders' ratings all throughout the country and all throughout the world right now. And it's super easy to fix. I'm going to show you guys right now, so don't go anywhere. Let's take a look. I played this game online a few months ago, and in this particular game, this comes out of the Sicilian Dragon, so I'll go over a few points in the Dragon while we go along. But it's not just the Dragon, it's any position where you have a fianchetto structure and the kings are castled on opposite sides, and I'm about to show you what I mean. Okay, so here we have this is just typical in the Sicilian Dragon. This is just this is not a video on the Dragon, but I'll just go over a few points. So the knight's hitting the bishop, I move it back, and the knight usually wants to trade get this bishop away. So he'll come here at some point, hitting this bishop and queen, and it forces you to take the knight. He played a little bit differently here, though. He played a little strangely. So but here's the point of the video. It already comes up now. So I play h4. Now, after h4, this is the move that everybody misses. Now, not everybody, but a lot of people. That's why I'm making the video. Like 95% maybe. I don't know how to quantify it, but a lot of people. Now, black here should just play h5. And after h5, black is fine. And the whole point is, because our kings are castled on opposite sides of the board, white would love to open up the rook to attack the king. Also, the fianchetto structure gives something for white to bite on. In other words, if black doesn't play h5 and blockade this pawn, white can now take this pawn. And if he avoids it, he can take. Now, I know you're saying, well, in this particular position, the knight can take, but that's not a good option because the knight cannot stay there forever. You can just kick the knight out right away. And when the knight goes back, you have an open h-file to attack, and you're winning the game. So after h4, my opponent played a5. Now, at first, I thought he didn't see this, which I was surprised because he's almost rated 2,000. But then I realized, oh, if I play this, he's going to play a4 and trap my bishop. So he actually defended h5 indirectly momentarily. So I said, oh, okay. So I played a4 myself. I took time out to defend something. So always defend first in chess. And my opponent played knight c6. And now I realize, no, he doesn't see h5. He really doesn't see this. Now, I wanted to get the knight out of the way first. So I felt like playing... at first, I took the knight and I played knight d5. Now, knight d5, just trying to get the knight out and then playing this. Actually, I probably should have just played h5 right away. Because my opponent, I'm still giving my opponent a chance to play h5 here. My idea was I was going to trade the knights and open up the position this way. So it is a playable position to play. Anyway, my opponent played, he took the knight, I took back with the pawn. This is very instructive, actually, because I think a lot of players would take like this. However, I'm not really attacking. I am attacking the bishop, but the bishop can also exchange itself. Which saves time. So when I do take back, now black has time to play h5. So when I take with the pawn, now if we understand the ideas of a certain position in chess, this is an easy move to find. Now what I mean is, if you understand the idea in this position is, if I play h5 against this fianchetto structure, right, I'm going to be winning the game, right? I'm going to have a significant advantage. So if you're thinking about h5 in that important light, a move like this is easy to spot as opposed to bishop takes because we're hitting the bishop. Now the bishop cannot exchange itself. It'll just lose a piece. So we're gaining a tempo, a very important tempo. And after the bishop moves away, it gives us time to play h5. So for that, if you know what's going on in the position and what you want to accomplish in the position, then it's easy to find a move like that. Okay, so my opponent, the main point of this video is my opponent should have played h5 himself to blockade this pawn. Now he cannot stop me from opening up the h-file. I mean, he can technically do that, but that's ridiculous too. Anyway, so he just moves his queen away. Now, he moves his queen away. This is actually typical in the Sicilian Dragon. And it's basically he's attacking my pawn. Now, I didn't want to take time out to really defend my pawn. I don't really see a good way to defend it even, actually. So I just went forward and opened up the H file. And when he took back, I played bishop d4. Now, against this, a lot of times against the fianchetto structure, and especially in the Dragon, there's 3 things I tell my students to accomplish. If you accomplish 2 out of 3 of them, you're probably going to win. But if you accomplish all 3 of them, you're definitely going to win the game. Unless you do something really crazy at the end of it. If you blunder, of course, that's how chess works. But you want to have an open H file, mission accomplished. You want to get rid of the knight on F6, mission accomplished. And now if we can get rid of this nice bishop, this is actually the Dragon. This is why it's called the Sicilian Dragon. This bishop is the Dragon. If we get rid of this bishop, that's the 3rd thing we want to accomplish. That's the 3rd objective that we want to accomplish. And once we get rid of that, then we're really winning. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm pretty much forcing him to exchange bishops. And not only that, when I take back, I'm actually, look at this. What do you know? I'm defending my pawn. There's no more bishop takes. And my queen is centralized and hitting the king side. So now we can stop the video now, but I'm not. I'm going to show you the end of what happened. The whole point is I can tell you all day why the open H file is so important against the king, but I'm going to show you how quickly the game will end when you have an open H file and your pieces are in the right places. So my opponent's defending here. Why is my opponent defending? Because he's a good player. If he plays a random move like this, the open H file comes into fray. I can simply just take right here. And now I'm threatening checkmate, and that's checkmate. And if he takes, no problem. I just bring this rook into the game, and we have checkmate. So the king cannot come here because of the queen. So this is why the open H file is so important. So my opponent played rook f7 to stop that idea. However, I still have the open H file. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. If I don't have anything right now, any specific tactic, I just simply build up. So I built up the attack on the H file, and now I have another tactic that my opponent missed. He played e5 here. I simply just took back with the pawn, and when he takes back, I don't take the bishop. I actually just take on g6, and my opponent in this position resigned. The point is, if he takes back, he gets checkmated immediately. And if he doesn't take back and moves away, I would just simply take the bishop, hit the queen, and I'm threatening checkmate with my queen. The game is absolutely over. My opponent is toast. Anyway, really, this is a really key idea to keep in mind. This pops up in a lot of positions. When you're playing against an opponent with a fianchetto structure and your kings are castled on opposite sides of the board, you want to launch the H pawn at your opponent, and your opponent should play H5 to meet your H pawn and blockade it. Conversely, if you're ever playing a position like that where you're defending, you have to blockade. You have to take time out to play H5 or H4 and blockade that pawn. I hope you guys found that video helpful. If you did, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you next time. Go play some chess.